Good morning. I'm going to talk a little bit today about how interventions can, upset your mindset or basically wreck your head. For want of a better word, I have been doing a few things on my grid. I did a reel actually on my grid about vaginal exams earlier this week, and then I did a poll on my stories as well about it, and apparently it's happened to quite a few people. About 80% of people have had this happen, and so I wanted to come on and talk a little bit more about it, again to help you think and decide about what you want in your birth preferences or birth plan. And again, not anti-intervention, and interventions save lives at the end of the day. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about how they can affect your mindset or affect your mental state. Because I do talk a lot about physical things and the physical risks often around interventions, but probably don't talk enough about how they can affect you mentally. So the reel I did was on vaginal exams, and this does seem to happen to women a lot. So, you've been labouring for a long time, so I'm just going to do it for example. So say you've been in labour for 15 hours and your midwife does an exam, vaginal exam, and says, okay, you're 5 centimeters, or you're only 5 centimeters. I hate the only, but sometimes that's what happens. You're only 5 centimeters. What is that going to do to your head, knowing that piece of information? I mean, if it were me, and I'd say that a lot of women are similar, you'll start doing the calculation in your head. Oh, well, it's taken me 15 hours, to get to 5 centimeters. So now it's going to take me another 15 hours to get to 10 centimeters, and then I still have to do the pushing stage, and oh my God, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And that's what happens to a lot of women, is they lose confidence. And, it's normal to do that. Hey, Aoife, how you doing? It's normal to start making those calculations, but it's not accurate. You can go from 5 centimeters to 10 centimeters in 10 minutes. It's not linear. It can happen really quick, or it can happen quite slow. Nobody knows. But of course, if it's taken us so many hours to get halfway, if you like, to 5 centimeters, then automatically we start thinking, okay, well, it's going to take me the same number of hours. And that can happen, but it also a lot of times cannot. But yeah, is that going to mess with your head really? Is it really going to wreck your head? Knowing your number, knowing your dilation number, whatever. And that's something to think about for your birth plan. So, there's lots of options. Can I not have it at all? Can I not have any vaginal exams? Can I have less of them? Can I have them every 4 hours instead of 2 hours? Or maybe you have them whatever number of hours you want, but you say to the midwife, I don't want to know. Just fine if you need to know, if you're happy for them to know how dilated you are, great, but don't tell me, because it's only going to wreck my head. That's perfectly fine too, to do. But otherwise, if you don't want to know, you don't want them to do them, you can say no. That's the thing. So really think about, is it going to help me or hinder my mindset? Anything, any intervention in birth, is it going to help my mindset or hinder it? Getting this, never mind the physical risks and benefits around it. The CTG is another one, for example. So that's the CTG is the big monitor that they put on you to check the baby's heartbeat. Most hospitals want to do a 20-minute trace, just when you go into the labour ward. And aside from the physical risks around that, because it increases your risk of C-section and forceps birth, again, is that really going to help you mentally? I know for me, what happened to me in my first birth is they said, right, hop into the labour ward, hop up in the bed, we'll do the 20 minutes trace. And then I mentally couldn't get off the bed. I mean, I was physically able, but I just somehow mentally got kind of turned in on myself and stuck on that bed, because I just spent the 20 minutes or the 30 minutes, whatever it was. And I couldn't get myself mentally back off the bed again, even though I'd said to my partner, I had it in my birth plan, I want to be upright and mobile, even though up to that point I had been upright and mobile, and I was in a lot less discomfort when I was upright and mobile. For some reason, mentally, I got stuck on that bed. So that's one downside mentally to it. And then the other thing was the damn thing kept slipping, so if you move at all, sometimes it slips, and then beep, 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 the thing starts alarming, and the midwife's over checking, and you're checking, and your partner's checking, and everybody's watching the screen to make sure that the baby is okay. So yeah, totally off-putting, creates a lot of fear, created a lot of adrenaline for me, every time that happened. So again, weigh up your risks and benefits of your CTG. Do you really want to have it? Never mind the physical risks are, what's it going to do to your head again? So that's just 2 examples of, and I should have said as well, obviously vaginal exams for anybody that has had any previous kind of trauma, sexual trauma, for anyone who's had, even health issues, sometimes with endometriosis and stuff like that, both physically and mentally, it can be, really upsetting for some people to have vaginal exams. So again, you have the right to say no. You don't have to have them, and really think about that. Is having something like this in my labour, I forgot to say that earlier, is it going to have an adverse mental effect on me? Because at the end of the day, mindset is key. Mindset is the biggest, most positive tool that you can bring to your labour. It is what is going to give you the strength and the determination and the will to, get through your labour in a positive way. It is the biggest thing that you can bring into the labour room with you, apart from your partner. But it's really what's going to see you through your labour. So you don't want anything messing with it. You want to stay in the zone. You want to be feeling positive. You want to, be doing whatever it takes to keep that mindset positive, because I've seen it time and again. It is really what gets you through there. It really, really is. So yeah, just have a think. As I say, when you're writing your birth plan, you're trying to make your decisions, use your brain acronym. Ugh, hate that word. What are the benefits? What are the risks? What are the alternatives? What's my intuition telling me? What happens if I do nothing? Use that to make your decisions. But when you're looking at the risks, as I say, just think about them from a physical point of view. Obviously, how's this going to affect my body? How's this going to affect my baby? But also, how's it going to affect my mind as well? Because that's equally important at the end of the day. So hopefully that helps. If you, thanks for joining me live, Aoife, and anybody else that's watching and later, I'll have it saved down. And if you have any questions or comments, as always, feel free to DM.